Welcome back to Tech Unpacked. I'm Jenny, and with me as always is my co-pilot in all things tech, Mark.
What's up, Jenny? And wow, do we have something to unpack today? We're diving into the epicenter of cybersecurity, the RSA Conference 2025, which just wrapped up there in sunny San Francisco.
That's right, Mark. RSA Conference, or RSAC as the cool kids call it, is arguably the biggest cybersecurity event globally. Thousands of people, hundreds of speakers. It's a massive undertaking, isn't it?
Massive is an understatement. I mean, we're talking over 700 speakers, like 29 tracks, more than 450 sessions, and over 650 exhibitors, all focused on making our digital world safer. It's like the Super Bowl of cybersecurity, but with, a bit less tackling and way more, threat intelligence.
And fewer foam fingers, mercifully. So what were the big takeaways this year, Mark? What was everyone buzzing about over at Moscone Center?
Okay, so if I had to pick three main themes that kept popping up, it would be zero trust architecture, AI-powered security operations centers, and quantum-proof cryptography. These areas are not just, fleeting buzzwords. They're truly the future of digital defense.
Zero trust, AI, and quantum. Those sound like, really heavy hitters. Let's start with zero trust. For our listeners who might not be deep into cyber vernacular, what exactly does zero trust mean in practice? Give us the analogy, Mark.
Good question. Think of it this way, Jenny. Standard security models are kind of like a castle. Once you're inside the walls, you're trusted. Zero trust, on the other hand, says, nope. Assume everyone, inside or out, is potentially a threat. It's about continuous verification, about limiting access. And basically never trusting, always verifying. It's becoming critical, for protecting against things like supply chain attacks and insider threats.
So it's like permanently having a bouncer checking your ID at every single door inside the club, not just, like, the front door. I can already hear our listeners thinking, that sounds complicated, and frankly, a bit annoying for the users.
It can be, for sure, but it's becoming an undeniable necessity, Jenny. And speaking of necessity, the conference also heavily featured AI-powered security operations centers, or SOCs. This is impressive. AI is now helping reduce false positives in SOCs by as much as 67%.
Wow, 67%! That's such a significant cut in what used to be a major headache for security teams. Less noise, means they can focus on real threats. It's like having a super smart assistant sifting through all the junk mail so you only see what matters.
Exactly. The sheer volume of alerts can lead to burnout for human analysts. AI helps tackle that. But here's the thing, Jenny, and this is important. AI cuts both ways. While it's making our defenses stronger, it's also arming the adversaries. Jade Leung, CTO of the UK AI Security Institute, gave a stark warning. AI-powered social engineering attacks surged by a staggering 300% year-over-year.
300%? That's concerning. So the same AI that helps us also helps the bad guys create incredibly convincing phishing attacks or deepfakes designed to trick people? It's like a sci-fi movie come to life, but maybe a less fun one.
It really is, unfortunately. And that's why speakers like Dmitry Alperovich, executive chairman at Silverado, stressed the importance of human-centric design even with AI dominance. We need the tech, but we always need human intuition and oversight. It's about leveraging AI without completely handing over the keys,
That makes sense. It's a delicate balance for sure. Now, you mentioned quantum-proof cryptography. This sounds like something out of, a futuristic thriller. Is this something we need to worry about yet, or is it more of a long-term threat for, tech billionaires?
Good question, and one that sparks a bit of debate, actually. It seems like overkill for mid-sized enterprises today, but it isn't. It's definitely looking ahead. Quantum computers, once they're powerful enough, could potentially break many of our current encryption methods. So researchers are developing new cryptographic algorithms that can withstand quantum attacks. RSAC had demos of quantum-resistant cryptography, which is preparing for a threat that isn't fully here yet, but will be. It's about future-proofing our defenses now, like getting the blueprints ready while the foundation is still being dug.
So we're building the digital equivalent of bomb shelters before the bombs even exist. Smart, but also a little unnerving, and perhaps, as you said, some might call it premature over-engineering. Was there much pushback on the urgency for quantum-proof solutions at the conference?
There were certainly some experts who argued for a more measured approach, prioritizing immediate, present-day threats rather than investing heavily in a future threat that's still, largely theoretical in its full destructive power. The consensus, though, seemed to be better safe than sorry. Start the research and development now, so we're not caught flat-footed later. It's a balancing act between addressing current vulnerabilities and preparing for what's on the horizon.
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of big names, who were some of the keynotes that stood out this year?
Oh man, they had some big hitters. Craig Newmark, the founder of Craigslist, was there. And he wasn't just talking tech. He really pushed for ethical tech governance. He believes that ethics and social responsibility need to be at the core of our cybersecurity policies, especially as they impact public digital spaces and misinformation, which, given the current landscape, is pretty important.
Craig Newmark talking ethics. I like that. It's not just about stopping the hacks, but about building a trustworthy digital society. Is that something the industry can self-police, Mark? Or do you think we need regulation for ethical tech governance?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Historically, the tech industry has preferred self-regulation, but the scale of challenges we face with things like AI-driven misinformation, it's a tough one. As one expert put it, if we don't embed integrity in code, we're just building fancier broken systems. And with those AI-powered social engineering attacks surging 300%, maybe self-regulation isn't quite cutting it on its own.
Well said. The potential for misuse seems to be growing faster than our ability to regulate. And what about the practical side? Were there any cool, hands-on experiences at RSAC that caught your eye, Mark? Something listeners might actually get to try one day?
Absolutely. They had these cutting-edge session formats, including hands-on darknet simulations. You could actually dive into labs replicating real-world attack vectors. Imagine learning how to fight cyber threats by navigating a simulated dark internet environment. It's like a video game, but with, real-world stakes, though safely contained in a lab setting, thankfully.
Okay, I'd brave Mosconi's crowds just for those darknet simulation labs. That's how you train next-gen defenders. But tell me, Master Mark, would you rather fight AI-generated deepfakes or zero-day exploits in those drills? Which one sounds more challenging to you?
That's a tough choice, Jenny. They both offer unique challenges. Probably the deepfakes, because they involve more human psychology, which I find fascinating. You're fighting deception, not just code. 0 days are pure technical skill, which is also appealing. Both are crucial, though, for building a robust defense.
Fair enough. Another big topic I saw coming out of RSAC was the role of open source in security. Why is open source security suddenly a headline priority at RSAC, even more than before?
It's a huge deal because so much of our digital infrastructure, from critical operating systems to individual applications, relies on open source components. The Open Source Security Foundation, or OpenSSF, had a significant presence, emphasizing the need to secure foundational open-source projects. A vulnerability in one widely used open-source library can have ripple effects across thousands of companies, creating a potential systemic risk.
So if the open-source community works together to fix vulnerabilities, it strengthens the whole ecosystem. It's a true collaborative defense, which aligns with the ethos of open source itself. It's all about collective intelligence. So, RSAC 2025 painted a picture of a cybersecurity landscape that's both challenging and incredibly innovative. We're seeing threats evolve, but our defenses are evolving right alongside them.
Exactly. Jenny, the CVE disclosures, those common vulnerabilities and exposures, jumped 75% year over year. That's like hackers are working overtime, trying to find every crack. It really underscores the urgency of events like RSAC and the constant need for vigilance and innovation. It's not a battle we can win once and then stop. It's ongoing.
Wow. 75% more vulnerabilities. That's a stark reminder of the continuous cyber conflict. What a conference, Mark. It sounds like RSAC 2025 truly delivered on showcasing the cutting edge of cybersecurity and all the challenges that come with it.
It always does, Jenny. And it's not just about the tech. It's about the people, the collaboration, and the shared mission to keep our digital world secure. It's pretty inspiring, actually, despite the sometimes scary statistics.
I agree. It gives me hope that there are so many brilliant minds focused on this. Okay, that's all for this episode of Tech Unpacked. Thanks for joining us and keeping us safe, Mark. We'll catch you next time.
Stay curious and stay secure, everyone.